Welcome back. If you have health questions, our Doctor on Call has answers. We welcome UK Emergency Department physician Dr. Ryan Stanton to answer some of your great questions. And we will start with one that was submitted on our website from Sarah. She wants to know, what is the medical explanation for a sprained ankle? She says she had one and the x-rays were fine, but it hurt so bad. What was making it hurt so bad and cause that pain?
This is a great question because it's actually one of the most common injuries we see in the emergency department, especially now that we're getting into spring, into summer. People are getting outside, having a good time. Unfortunately, the ankles are the victim of that. So most people, when they twist their ankle, which is typically rolling the ankle from side to side, they think that there may be a broken bone. They come in to visit me, we get an x-ray, everything looks okay. Well, there's a lot of ligaments that are there that help stabilize that keeps us sitting upright. That picture right there demonstrates the ones on the outside of the ankle, and that's what keeps our ankles straight up and down. If those aren't there, we feel very unsteady and we'll wobble back and forth and even fall over. When you twist that ankle, which is the example in the upper left right there, that's the typical way. It rolls out. You'll tear those ligaments on the outside, and that'll cause swelling and instability and pain, and actually a lot of times the pain can be a lot more uncomfortable than an actual fracture itself. And that's a lot of times what we see there, a lot of that bleeding and bruising underneath the skin that results in that nice purple blue foot. It'll actually go all the way down to the toes. That's a result of the bleeding of those ligaments, and that's actually what we do when you come to the emergency department. One of the things there is an air splint that helps to stabilize the ankle, makes it a lot more comfortable to walk on. And what we tend to recommend is the RICE therapy, the resting, icing, compression, and elevation. That's what we do for any strain, actually. So keep that in mind in case you hurt yourself this spring or summer. Rest it, ice it, compress it, and elevate it. That'll help with the swelling and the pain. And I love the opportunity to get out and actually get into the Halloween supplies.
So
we get to see our ankle.
Right there.
The most common tendon injured when you twist it's this one right here. It's called the anterior talofibular ligament. And most people, almost everybody I see that twists an ankle tends to do that right there. So if you have pain right there, that's probably what it is. And you were correct when I came in. This is definitely more than a sprained ankle. You probably need to call 911 if yours looks like this.
Okay, just make note of that.
Just write that down.
And our second question today from Judy. She has a really interesting question about Western movies, that someone's always coughing up blood. Why is this and why is it? Interesting story behind this, huh?
Well, the coughing up blood is as much a Westerns as the gun and the sheriff badge. So Tombstone is one of the most common associated with that, with Doc Holliday, who's coughing up blood and got progressively sicker. That's actually consumption. Common term you probably heard. Consumption is the term for tuberculosis, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, which is what that bug is right there. A typically pulmonary or lung-based disease, can sometimes be in other organs that we see a lot. This is an ad from World War II that showed how many people were actually killed in Kentucky. More people died of tuberculosis in Kentucky than actually died in World War II. And actually, back around 1800, about 1 in 100 deaths in this country were associated with tuberculosis and not with a lot of other forms. Now, since 1800, that number has been dropping down. We've only had one spike since that time, and that was in the 19-teens with World War I, where we saw a big spike because of the way warfare was fought. That's the current pattern. The United States, luckily, we're in green, which means we have lower levels of tuberculosis. Pretty rare, though we still see it on occasion. We still test for it in emergency departments in terms of doing chest x-rays and doing the skin tests. And that's what it looks like once you get it. It tends to cause some scars and some growing lesions inside the lungs and can cause some difficult things. What people need to think about, though, is if you start to have fevers for multiple weeks, coughs, coughing up blood, come in, let us check it out. Usually it's not. The vast majority of times it's a cold. It may be a pneumonia. It's very, very rarely in this country tuberculosis. But if you're traveling to one of those areas that's red on the map, you probably need to get that checked out and to make sure, because we do have treatments. There's things we can do that can help out with that.
Right. Well, great questions. If you have any questions for our Doctor on Call, just look for the tab in the health section of WTVQ.com. We'll be right back. Thank you.